Ananda said to the Buddha, "World-honored one, I now offer this reconsideration. Viscera and bowels lie inside the bodies of living beings, while the orifices are open to the exterior. There is darkness at the bowels and light at the orifices. Now as I face the Buddha and open my eyes, I see light, that is to see outside. When I close my eyes and see darkness, that is to see within. How does that principle sound?" The Buddha said to Ananda, "When you close your eyes and see darkness, does the darkness you experience lie before your eyes? If it does lie before your eyes, then the darkness is in front of your eyes. How can that be said to be within? If it were within, then when you were in a dark room, without the light of sun, moon, or lamps, the darkness in the room would constitute your warmers and visceras. If it is not before you, how can it be seen? If you exert that there is an inward seeing that is distinct from seeing outside, in that case, when you close your eyes and see darkness, you would be seeing inside the body. Therefore, when you open your eyes and see light, why can't you see your own face? If you cannot see your face, then there can be no seeing within. If you can see your face, then your mind that knows and understands, and your organ of vision as well, must be suspended in space. How could they be part of your body? If they are in space, then they are not part of your body. Otherwise, the Tathagata who now sees your face should be part of your body as well. In that case, when your eyes perceive something, your body would remain unaware of it. If you press a point and say that the body and eyes each have an awareness, then you should have two perceptions, and your one body should eventually become two Buddhas. Therefore, you should know that you state the impossible when you say that to see darkness is to see within. Ananda said to the Buddha, "I've heard the Buddha instruct the four assemblies that because the mind arises, all kinds of phenomena arise, and that because phenomena arise, every kind of mind arises. As I now consider it, the substance of that very consideration is truly the nature of the mind. Wherever it comes together with things, the mind exists in response. It does not exist in the three locations of inside, outside, and in between." The Buddha said to Ananda, "Now you see that because phenomena arise, every kind of mind arises. Wherever it comes together with things, the mind exists in response. But if it has no substance, the mind cannot come together with anything. If having no substance, it can yet come together with things, that would constitute a 19th realm, brought about by union with the 7th defiling object, and there is no such principle. If it does have substance, when you pinch your body with your hand, does your mind which perceives it come out from the inside or in from the outside? If it comes out from the inside, then once again it should see within your body. If it comes in from outside, it should see your face first." Ananda said, "Seeing is done with the eyes. The mind's perception is not that of the eyes. To say it sees doesn't make sense." The Buddha said, "To suppose that the eyes can see is like supposing the doors of a room can see. Also, when someone has died, but his eyes are still intact, his eyes should see things. How can it be death if one can still see?" Furthermore, Ananda, if your mind which is aware, understands and knows, in fact has substance, then is it a single substance or many substances? Does its substance perceive the body as it now resides in it, or does it not perceive it? Supposing that it were a single substance, then when you pinch one limb with your fingers, the four limbs would be aware of it. If they all were aware of it, the pinch could not be at any one place. If the pinch were confined to one place, then the single substance you propose would not be possible. Supposing that it were many substances, then you would be many people. Which substance would be you? Supposing it were a pervasive substance, the case would be the same as before in the instance of pinching. But supposing it were not pervasive, then when you touch your head and touch your foot simultaneously, the foot will not perceive it if the head does. But that is not how you are. Therefore, you should know that you state the impossible when you say that wherever it comes together with things, the mind exists in response. Ananda said to the Buddha, "World-honored one, I also have heard the Buddha discuss true appearance with Manjusri and the other disciples of the Dharma king. The world-honored one also said, the mind is not inside and it is not outside. As I now consider it, if it were within, it would see things it does not see. If it were outside, there would be no common perception. Since it cannot see inside, it cannot be inside. And since the body and mind have common perception, it does not make sense to say it is outside. Therefore, since there is a common perception, and since there is no seeing within, it must be in the middle." The Buddha said, "You say it is in the middle. That middle must not be haphazard or without a fixed location. Where is this middle that you propose? Is it in an external place, or is it in the body? If it were in the body, it could not be on the surface of the body, since that is not the middle. But to be in the middle is no different than being inside. If it were in an external place, would there be some evidence of it or not? If there were no evidence of it, that would be the same as if it did not exist. If there were evidence of it, then it would have no fixed location. Why? Suppose that someone were to indicate the middle by a marker. When regarded from the east, it would be to the west, and when regarded from the south, it would be to the north. The marker is unclear, and the mind would be equally chaotic." Ananda said, "The middle I speak of is neither of those. As the world-honored one has said, the eyes and forms are the conditions which create the eye consciousness. The eyes make discriminations. Forms have no perception, but a consciousness is created between them. That is where my mind is." The Buddha said, "If your mind were between the eye and an object, does the mind's substance combine with the two, or does it not? If it did combine with the two, then objects and the mind's substance would form a chaotic mixture. Since objects have no perception, while the substance has perception, the two would stand in opposition. Which is the middle? If it did not combine with the two, it would then be neither perceiver nor perceived, and would have no substance or nature. Where would the characteristic of middle be? Therefore, you should know that for the mind to be in the middle is impossible." Ananda said to the Buddha, World Honored One. When I have seen the Buddha turn the Dharma wheel in the past with great Moggallana, Subhuti, Purna, Shariputra, 4 of the great disciples, he often said that the nature of the mind, which perceives, makes discriminations, and is aware, is located neither within, nor outside, nor in the middle. It is not located anywhere at all. That very non-attachment to anything is what is called the mind. Therefore, is my non-attachment my mind? The Buddha said to Ananda, you say that the nature of the mind which perceives, makes discriminations, and is aware is not located anywhere at all. The entirety of things existing in the world consists of space, the waters, the land, the creatures that fly and walk, and all external objects. Does their non-attachment also exist? If it does not exist, it is the same as hairs on a tortoise or horns on a rabbit. How can you speak of non-attachment? If non-attachment existed, it could not be said to be non-existent. To be non-existent is to be without attributes. To be existent is to have attributes. Whatever has attributes has a location. How then can it be said to be unattached? Therefore, you should know to call the aware, knowing mind non-attachment to anything is impossible.